The summer season is officially over. It's fall time, guys. It's crispy, it's cool, it's sweater weather, which is the best weather. And along with the new change of the season, it means that we need to say goodbye to summer and score the shows that we watched last season. It was a really good summer season, I think, and we will talk about that in depth on this episode of Dad-ime, the show where three nerdy-ass dads talk about anime, because we never grew up, and we're never going to grow up. It's anime for life, baby. I'm your host, Dallin, and with me, as always, are the two otaku in arms that help run this show. We've got the dungeon-crawling adventurer who's been reincarnated into a half-hedgehog, half-porcupine, maybe?
Love it.
And we have the page sage, the manga maestro, Tyler. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going good.
Have you guys been reviewing all of the costumes for the last week or so as you've been watching anime now?
Absolutely been looking at it differently.
It's been awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely have a new kind of eye towards character design now, because now it's more just like not just how they pop on the screen, but like, what does the outfit say about them? What does that mean? You know what I mean? This is like taking it one level.
Why does this make
deeper.
them read this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and it's kind of interesting that, like, I was looking at Momo Ayase's earring into dandadan today, and I was looking at how it has like this like cerulean blue kind of shimmer to it, kind of like her hands do.
Ooh, yeah.
Right, like that, like, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, like, because they come off like wings, and so does her earring, so it's kind of an interesting color choice there.
Yeah,
so like,
I have to imagine that during the production, they're like, right, they're changing the drawing from, you know, hands to hands, different people are touching it, a bunch of different people are working on the show, and it's probably pretty simple to just be like, these 3 or 4 colors, that's it. So when somebody gets a new drawing and they're, you know, filling it in or whatever, they're just like, yep, let's go. So it's cool that they just add that in there. Think about it ahead of time. It's cool stuff.
Yeah. So before I really want to, like, I guess before I want to talk about anime, can we talk about dad wins of the week? What do you guys got?
Yeah, let's hear it. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
I picked Tyler.
I said it first.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Dad win of the week. This is the last week of girls soccer. I've made it. I made it a full season.
Survived.
It was rough. I have made girls cry during practice from running.
I made a kid
jumping
cry
jacks.
with a paragraph.
It's just, they're finally kind of at this age where I think, like, they need to, not that they need to take sports seriously, but, like, we need to, like, we're here for a reason, right? We're practicing. We're not here to goof off and, like, play around or whatever. And I know that's just kids that age. But I'm like, no, we have 1 hour, and that is it. So when they're, like, goofing off or whatever, I'm like, you run. You get to run a lap now. And by the end, they hate me. I don't think they like me as their coach. Like, this coach makes us run and do jumping jacks. And I'm like, it's character building. I'm shaping you into a good adult.
I think it's kind of like, you're kind of like, no, like, we're here to play. We're not here, like, you can have fun, but the fun's on the field.
Yeah.
But so I don't think that's bad.
The
I think
structure,
it's pretty good.
no.
And
It's
also, was
structured,
anyone
yeah.
signing up for it? Like, was this one of those moments where it was like, we need someone?
No, I signed up for coaching, like, at the beginning. I was like, all right, it's probably my turn to, you know, take a turn with my kids.
That's fair.
So it's
awesome.
It is what it is.
I love it,
But
man. Way
we
to go.
made it
That's
through
a
the
dad win.
season. We've got one more game left. We won a couple times. Nothing great. I think we might end at 500 if we win this game. We'll break even. You know,
Sweet, dude.
you can't
pretty good.
fault it too much. It's been a learning experience, and let's just say it just makes me appreciate my own kids more and more.
Yeah.
Having to deal with other people's
But like
kids.
when you're dealing with your kids, you understand your kids' language, they understand your language.
Absolutely.
And then suddenly you like speak that language and you understand it. And when you're dealing with other people's kids, you're like, what are you thinking? And then once you hear their parents talk, you're like, oh my God, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get why they're not getting me. Like,
This is the
it's so
pattern.
interesting. Yeah, it's
Yep.
just the way that we communicate. It's so interesting. Dad win. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like me and my kid are getting along more. Like, we're doing more fun stuff together. So like, Meg left to go do a writing class tonight, and he went to tumbling on the weekend. And like, we were in the living room, and I was just telling him to do the things from tumbling. So I'm like, crawl like a bear, do a somersault, and he was just doing crazy stuff all over our living room. And I'm like I feel like I'm being subversive. I'm like, this is gonna wear him out. He's gonna be tired before bed, and he's like, "This is the greatest." Dad's just doing stuff with me and rolling around the living room.
Yeah.
Just
Let's
having a
amp this up
blast.
to a 10.
Yeah, and he's just amping
I
it
think
up.
the
So
science is in, and I'm pretty sure it says like roughhousing, like before the bedtime routine, actually does help kids kind of wind down the day and kind of get out their last little bit of energies.
That's kind of what we did. We were like jumping, like just bouncing around the living room. He was just having a good time.
Yeah.
So that was good.
That's
That's
awesome.
Dad win.
Nice. I love it. All right,
Love it.
Preston, what do you got?
So my dad win is, I guess I have two of them. So usually my kids have been keep asking me, they're like, "Hey Dad, I really want to go to Lagoon, really want to go to Lagoon." And finally my office actually got tickets. They rented out the Lagoon, and so we went out there and were able to go as a family, and it was fun to be able to deliver on that, where, you know, as you guys know, sometimes money's just tight and hard to do those kind of things when it's
and like
$75 a ticket.
It's expensive.
So crazy. They think they're like Disneyland or something. My goodness.
Well, and like we buy ours on we bought like passes on Black Friday, so that way they'd be cheaper. And then so we can go anytime, but we like had to go 3 times to make it just even break even. And
Seriously.
so like we've gone like 4 or 5 times, and I almost threw up twice because I don't know what happened. When I turned into a dad, I can't spin as much.
It's true.
I got on the tilt-a-whirl, and if you lean back on the tilt-a-whirl and put your head all the way back, it spins faster.
It's so bad.
So I'm gonna puke, and I'm like, "Oh God!"
is like my favorite ride.
Right?
Yeah, I can't ride it anymore.
Throw your weight to the side and make it.
You don't even have to do
For
that.
those of you who don't know, it's kind of like the teacups.
Yeah, but
it's basically on an oscillating. It's on a circle, and it's like a half egg, and so it swings based on centrifugal force. Am I saying it right? Or centrifugal?
Yeah.
And so as it goes up and down, it throws you back and forth. And my son on the merry-go-round, there's a teacup. The same thing where you sit down and you spin it. I'm so glad that was the last ride because he got it going, and I'm sitting there just like, I'm gonna puke, I'm gonna puke, I'm gonna puke, and we're like going like a million miles an hour, and he's just like faster, 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 faster.
And I was doing tricks. I was like looking at objects like as we were spinning and just trying to like orient myself. I was like put my hands on flat surfaces so my brain knows that I'm not actually in danger. And like I get off the ride, and probably like for like 45 minutes to an hour afterwards, I'm like just trying to hold it all in. And my son's like, "Let's go on a spinny ride again." And I'm like, No.
Dude,
Can we just like do something
you
chill?
You got to pregame with some Dramamine. That's what you got to do. Pop some Dramamine.
That's what Meg keeps telling me. She's like, "You're getting Dramamine now." And I'm like, "Thanks, bro."
Dad, I didn't know you could turn that shade of green. Are you Namekian?
Which
I'm
my
so
son,
proud.
their dad win of the anime dad win of the week. My son won't stop singing the intro to Dragon Ball. Mystical Adventures, the song, and he just won't stop singing it. He's like,
nice.
He also found out that you could just tell Alexa to play it during dinner all the time.
Nice.
Let's go Dragon Ball. Let's go Dragon Ball. I'll jump on the Nimbus. It doesn't wait. Like he knows all the words. Like,
Back.
and then I'm like, why don't we listen to Rock the Dragon? And he's like, no, Mystical Adventure, bro.
No, there's only one.
There's only one. There's Dragon Ball, and he's like, we're in the Red Ribbon Saga right now, and he's just like, I just want to watch this. I'm like, this is the most boring thing right now.
I like it.
But like he's at Muscle Tower,
like, essentially Frankenstein.
Yeah.
This is like the base for the androids.
Right? Yeah.
This is the base story for the android story. So like,
nice.
Planting the seed.
The weird dude with the brain in a jar on his head.
Yeah.
This is like his story. Like this is like them building the androids. But it's really funny to watch Goku fight things that it's like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's just having fun.
Yeah.
But I also know that there's another tournament after this, and I'm super excited to show him that. And like the sensu beans and stuff, he gets all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's coming
exciting.
up. He's got to climb the tower.
That's one of my favorite episodes, is him climbing the sensu bean tower. I love that one.
It's good stuff. Yeah, that's right before Piccolo shows up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're far away from that right now. We're just beginning of Red Ribbon Saga. They're looking for Dragon Balls, like just the basic. He's in the Muscle Tower, so he just fought a ninja, the 5 brothers.
Yeah, that was good.
So I'm enjoying rewatching something I've seen before, but watching it in order. Like that's nice.
Right. It's like when you're a kid and you're like, all right, I caught glimpses here and I caught glimpses here and I caught glimpses here.
You kind of piece it all together.
And you have to piece it together in your head. So
my ADHD brain, I had to admit this to my wife, and Dallin, you'll be shocked. I had never watched Star Wars all the way through. until I was an
Really?
adult. So like I had watched Star Wars. I had watched all the segments of it. I have seen every
Right.
scene, but I had never sat down and watched it all together. It'd always just been in the background at my grandparents' house or at my parents' house, and I would just sit down and watch chunks of it. And then my parents would be like, "It's time to go." I'm like, okay. And then
Yeah,
the next time I'd sit down to watch it, like it'd be airing on TV, and I'd catch the beginning again.
yeah. I knew that would be the case with my kids, because I'm like, we're so far removed from 77 Star Wars or whatever. It's like they're not gonna ever seek it out and go sit down and watch it themselves. So we do a weekly family movie night, and so for like 7 weeks straight, we just went through all of the Star Wars episodes. We went like the theatrical release, so we went 4, 5, 6, went back 1, 2, 3. So like, I'm like, you're getting the education of Star Wars. You're going to watch it proper so that when you grow up, you can say, I sat down and watched it, because I knew they'd get it that way, where it'd just be kind of like in the background at grandma's or at an uncle's house or an aunt's house or whatever.
Yeah. And what me
Like
and
that.
Megan have been talking, we need a little bit of Lord of the Rings in our lives. I need The Hobbit
Yeah.
and Sam Gamgee to like come and make me feel better about the world.
It's
So
some wholesomeness.
Every
Yeah.
November, that's usually about the time
Mhm.
I start watching
right
Lord of the
around the
Rings.
release dates, like December, like 19th ish. That's
Yeah.
when we kind of like do it. Like Meg's like the Two Towers came out around December 21st of 2003, so we all
It's-
have to watch it then.
It's whenever I get time off of work for the end of the year, which is usually
Mhm.
about Thanksgiving time, Christmas time,
Mhm.
then I'm like, all right, it's time for the comfy stuff.
Yeah, you put out the candles, you get the living room set up, you put on the
Yep.
movie. You're not leaving that spot. You might be
Yeah.
doing a puzzle, you might be looking at your phone, but you're not leaving that movie.
Yeah, it's a ritual. It's a
Yeah.
ritual for sure.
It is. It's a yearly thing.
Speaking of things that are ritual, anime, it goes in seasons. We go 12 weeks at a time, ritualistically, and we just ended the summer season. So we have some shows that we need to talk about and score. Where do you guys want to start? We've got...
Can we save Kaiju and like for end? Because
Sure.
I love that one, and I'm like, I want to. That's like the meat of what I want to talk about.
All right, let's
'Cause
start
there's
with
so much there.
Let's start with Gatchiakuta or
Gatchiakuta.
Gatchiakuta or however.
Gatchiakuta.
They said it's wrong to say it Gatchiakuta. Phonetically, that's how I read it, but apparently it's Gatchiakuta. There you go.
Good to know.
So yeah, let's talk about that one. This one hasn't finished yet because it's a 2-core, so it is spilling over into the next season. I kind of hate when they do that. I'm like, just end. Take a break and then come back. But it's a 2-core show. We got through 13 episodes, I think, is where we're at.
Yeah, there's
right now.
12 out right now.
12
There
out right
is
now.
the last episode was something like a curse, and it's kind of an interesting concept, right? Like, so for everyone who's watched it, right, our basic synopsis is our main character Rudo. Is it Rudo? Am I right?
Yeah, Rudo.
Yeah,
Yep.
Rudo gets thrown out of this lovely floating city into a pit of hell of trash. Right. And I at the beginning, I talked about it being like these objects have feelings. He gets thrown out and he lands in trash, and the trash is alive and tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Right.
The trash
Tries to eat
monsters.
him, and
Dinosaur
nothing should
trash,
be.
baby.
Yeah. And nothing should be there. And one of Dallon's favorite characters shows up. Who's our favorite character, Dallon?
Engine.
Engine shows up and saves him.
Umbrella.
And brings him to the cleaners. Now, Rudo actually has a really unique thing. So all objects in the universe have either like they're treated poorly, so they turn negative, right? Or they're treated positively and they turn into this positive object that the user can use. But all objects have a lifespan, just kind of like real life. Like my car is breaking right now. Has a lifespan. So Rudo actually has an object he really, really cares about, and it's his gloves, right?
Yes.
But his gloves don't have any special power. And he's been wearing them his whole life. So shouldn't he know? They have no special power. Which this is the cool twist. His gloves allow him to use other objects and use their internal power, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Gives them their
If any of
final
you guys,
flash. Their big
have you guys ever like listened to like Marie Kondo?
Yeah.
So Marie Kondo
Spark
talks about
joy.
like in Japanese like culture, how things have like a feeling and you should like respect those things. So you fold each article of clothing and like make a connection with it because there's a thing there that you appreciate. And I see that like concept bled over into this anime, which I think is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So from aside from the plot, from just like an artistry standpoint, I really like this one. The way that it is drawn and animated, it's so unique from everything else out there, except maybe
It's
Dandadan.
funky.
Like that and Dandadan kind of have their own like category of shonen where it's just like weird proportions, goofy sized characters.
Fisheye lenses. And...
Yeah, weird lenses, like crazy zoom ups on faces, like getting all freaked out, and like eyeballs when they get close and they kind of like slant out, like just the craziest stuff.
So would you say would you say it's on par with Dandadan with like fishbowl lenses and stuff and like, right? Like, because Dandadan has a ton of that. Like I mean, just watched the Golden Testicle episode and I was like, they're on a long hallway and he could have just shown the long hallway, but nope. He decides to like blur it with like almost like one of those mirrors that you look through to like look through the like around the corner. He just uses one of those. Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, is from like a way, like a production value of like how it's put together, the lenses that they use, like the angles from where the camera sits. I would say it's on par with Dandadan. From a plot wise, that's where it kind of like they go their own separate ways and kind of diverge and go. Yeah.
I'm currently just looking on my other monitor. I'm looking at like images just to kind of refresh myself. When you say it's the proportions, I'm looking at some of the characters and proportion wise, some of them remind me of like Dr. Stone proportions, like bigger heads, bigger like
kind of
like accentuated body parts. I would guess I would say, right? But like nothing like who's your favorite character again? Down, I can't.
Engine. He's like the most normal looking guy in the whole show.
He is the longest neck though. Like he has such a long neck to match his umbrella.
Yeah.
Like I'm like it's like I think that these character designs are really cool, and I like the animation.
The main girl with like the scissors, she's really like kind of like twiggy and long. Yeah. And then you have like the meathead dude who's just like way bigger than anybody else. He looks like the Hulk out there. Like
and he's got a little water spray.
That's the weirdest thing. They all have tools that like kind of make sense. It's like a stick, an umbrella, some scissors, and then this dude just
water my garden.
He just has a hose, and it's not connected to anything either. He's just carrying it around. How does it spray anything? What is it hooked up to? It just sprays the energy of I don't know. It's
the hose really wants to be used. It doesn't need any. It's chakra.
Yeah.
It's water gun jutsu.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love one of my favorite villains. I think I really love the claw villain, the guy with the claw hands. Like he's a really cool villain, and I feel like I like him, and I love that stick, dude. The guy who uses a stick, and like when Rudo first meets him, like their just meeting is so comical. Like
yeah.
And then when he gets like the scat on his back of his hair, and he's in the car, and the girl's like sitting there playing with his hair, and she's like, "Hey, what do you?" And like, "I'm gonna do your hair, blah blah blah." And then when they get to the finally get to the headquarters, and he's like, "What? You had poo on your hair?" Like, no, hold on. That was funny.
It was pretty great.
Think the first time, like, I kind of understood the tone of the show, but it wasn't really until that Jabber fight with that dude, and he's like insane, that I realized like, okay, this is like goth metal vibe. Like this is crazy.
And the voice actor for that guy too, I think they nailed it. Like he gave that hyena feel to him, like that very like I'm on the blade, the edge of the blade here. I could go any direction anytime. It's cool.
Yeah. It just really hit that like descent into madness kind of vibe. It was good.
Well, and we just got, so at the end of this where we are now, episode 11, 12, they got to the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so this tower is a really big deal because of the woman who guards it, right?
Yeah. And she like summoned him there, which is weird. Ammo?
Hey, come with me, Ammo. Yeah. Ammo wants to talk to you.
Well, this is going to be interesting because like knowing what's coming from the manga, Ammo's Tower marks like a crucial like a moment where they're getting content, where you're getting like plot, and it's actually growing. And you also realize the power scaling is by far you're still at the bottom. Even after the Jabber fight. Jabber fight's like introductory, like this is Raditz. This is like that's what it feels like. And Jabber's not done.
What's the guy's name? The guy who has the, I'm going to call it a knitting yarn thing. Like it's the pole and then it has the yarn and he tied everybody up with it.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name is, like being able to see him and he was cool. Like, It's cool to see like the different. I think that for me, the thing that's refreshing is similar to what I think My Hero Academia was refreshing in the sense that it said, "Hey, I'm going to give everybody a unique, identifiable, like you can see it from far away and you can understand it, what it is." And Gatchiakuta, I think, has that too, where Rudo has his gloves. He has, like he pulls other things out of the hat. Here's what it is. The girl who does hair, she has the scissors. You have the guy with the squirt gun, and
Yeah.
I've really liked the way that they've done the
Well,
character
and that
designs.
like that leads us to like say like, okay, so they have love for these objects, and then I think a lot like Fire Force, there's this like conversation going on of like, what is the point of all of this? Like, what is like we have to uncover this world together, and I
Yeah.
think that's really cool.
I was just about to say that as like my next point is like, if you like Fire Force, this is kind of the spiritual successor to Fire Force, it feels like,
It is.
in a lot of ways, both in the way that it's like funny in just the weird kind of ways. It's got etchy, but not too much etchy that it like pulls you out of the show. It's just kind of,
Yeah.
it's just kind of there, but it's not like the main point of it. So yeah, I would say if you like Fire Force, and you haven't tried Gatchiakuta, you should try it.
Well, and like, and then I'm just going to talk from a manga standpoint, like readability. Some like Hunter x Hunter is not as readable as this is. Hunter x Hunter has too many like words per panel, and it creates like, and the art, like he's not the best artist. Like the animators are great. They take his work and turn it into something freaking awesome. But like this guy, like it's very consistent from the show to the manga. Like I can literally just look at the thumbnails of each episode and know exactly what chapter it came from. So that's really
Love
cool.
when they're true to the source material. That's cool.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Like I love that. And I understand deviating from source material is fine as long as it's got a logical sense. Right? I love the color they put in. I love everything. The clothing is unique. That's all I have to say.
Let's score it so we can move on to the other three that we have to talk about. So Gatchiakuta, I'm gonna go out on a limb and give this an 8.5. I really like it. I think it's really, really good. There's a lot to love about it. I think there's still a lot to kind of uncover with it. So that score may fluctuate depending on kind of how the show goes. But as of right now, I'm sitting pretty high on the show. I like it quite a bit. The intro alone is worth like at least a 7. It's super good. Yeah, I like it a lot. So I give it an 8.5.
Okay, so I cannot give it a very good score because I have not finished it. So for those who are listening, I have not finished it. But knowing what's coming and knowing how the story plays out, I'm happy with what I've seen them do so far. So I feel like being true to the source material, like color, movement, like just the first episode where he's dropped at the end, just the way that that's told in a storytelling sense is so dramatic and leaves you just hungry. Right? And it leaves you upset too. So they're not pulling punches either. They're like showing some of the gritty stuff. I
Yeah.
really like it. I think Dallin, I think you're not too far off. But like Fire Force, yeah, 8's not bad. 8, honestly, 8's a good score. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me. It's not like perfect, but an 8's good.
Yeah. There's rarely anything that will ever be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So like, because like to me,
And I
I'm
think
like,
that's going to be unique to each individual person too,
Sure.
right? Because it might be resonating for you different reasons. And
But a strong
Exactly.
B, like it's not average. This is not an average anime. It's not one that's
absolutely.
gonna like
This is a grade A,
Yeah.
B plus shonen show.
I go through my list. It's like, am I hungry for more? Am I feeling like at the end of all the Kaiju number 8,
mhm.
when you're just like, oh no, I can't wait till next
I
week.
can't
Like,
wait.
I
Yeah.
think it's on the cusp. I feel like Kaiju number 8 is pushing a little further, but I think for me, I think I'm going to go with an 8.5 because the art's on point, and knowing that like the source material is true to the artist and it's not like deviating too far. I know there was some controversy about the redheaded girl being skinnier or more,
Mhm.
what's the word?
Less
Looking more.
voluptuous.
Well, look in the it made her look more like she was anorexic, right? In the animation versus when you look at her in the thing, she's a little bit more full figured. Which is usually the opposite. I feel like they usually go the other direction, but
Mhm.
I think that I don't know. I think at 8.5, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 for me
That's
because
awesome.
it's got good watchability. I want to see it again. I want more. I'm interested in the world.
So that's one of them. Gosh, do we do dandadan or do we do
We can do Lord of Mysteries.
Let's do Lord of the Mysteries. So I
Yeah.
finished this one last night, so it's very like crisp
Fresh.
and like fresh.
I'm interested to see what you think.
Man,
I-
so I was really high on it in the beginning. I really
Yeah.
liked the aesthetic. I really like the animation quality overall. I think is like super good, superb.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mystery and kind of intrigue, but it just kind of, as it kept going, it just kept packing more mysteries in and not really answering anything. And I think this might just be because the source material is just so dense. It's a light novel, and I don't think they accurately kind of packed everything into the show. So I feel like there's maybe some missing context here or there. Something that helped though is like maybe episode 3, I was like, okay, I'm having a hard time. Like I got to lock in every time I watch the show to like really know what's going on.
Yeah, you do.
I switched it over to the English dub, and they do a really good job of it. They have like fake like British accents because it's almost like this like pseudo, Victorian England kind of
Running.
world. Once I started watching it in English, my enjoyment went way up. So
Okay.
it could just be like a language barrier thing for me. Like the Japanese dubs are good, or like Japanese subs, watching it subs is good, but for some reason Chinese, it just doesn't jive with me as well. Like I have a harder time like getting the cadence. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, flipping it into English seemed to kind of remedy that.
I really enjoyed the clown fight. I think that's Magic Mirror. Is that right?
Oh,
Like that's
yeah,
like the
that was
4th
good.
episode where you have the doll that like you fear in proximity of it. It reminded me of like Helsing, like when they bring things out of like the Vatican or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was like, oh, this is good. Animation wise, I'm going to agree with you. This is superbly animated. It flows so nicely. I mean, like, I would say Fear has, this is the thing. I was like, when I compare those two, like, there's a scene where Stark's putting on a shirt and he's like putting his arm through the holes of the shirt and all the flow of the clothing is animated. And I feel like this is close to that, but it's a little bit more computer generated in moments, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do really appreciate the world that they have built. And I want to know more all the time. It's not perfect. It's definitely like, it's just like, it's a show to watch. I don't think it's going to be like a dandadan or like a Chainsaw Man or like a Naruto. It's not life-changing in the anime world, but it's really cool. It's a really good job. Kudos to the artists.
Very
What about you,
beautiful world.
Preston?
I felt the same way. That's what drew me in initially. Artistry. Like it is so well, like there's some places in some animes where you get a lot of architecture. And when you have a lot of architecture and it looks good and it's not just kind of like, oh, you can tell the artist kind of threw a wash on there and then blip, 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 little blibbies and it's just kind of
Yeah.
background. I appreciate when they take that attention to detail. Similar to like when we watched Infinity Castle, right? The being able to go and see that and have that marriage of a really solid technical and artistry just when they meet and they meet in a meaningful way. I think it just kind of changes the vibe of it. But I
Well,
agree
like,
with you, Don.
when
like
they twist architecture in this is cool too.
yes,
Yeah, it gets wild.
agreed.
It's got this
Yeah.
like Doctor Strange kind of quality to it,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just kind of like not sure what's reality, what's a dream, what's a nightmare, what's somebody's
Honestly,
power, what's the gift of these objects. It all kind of blends into this weird like hallucination almost. Like it feels like you
I
just
don't
tripped
know.
acid and watched the show. It's
So,
so
like-
weird.
You've played Bloodborne, right, Dallin?
Yeah.
Right? So at the beginning of Bloodborne, like you're in a dream, you get put into the hunter's dream, and then
Yeah.
you wake up in the dream, and the whole thing is a dream. All of it is a dream. None of it's reality. It's the dream within the dream kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case here, but it feels like that. Like, I don't feel like since the first
It's-
episode, it feels like we're in a dream. The whole thing.
It's an isekai in like the traditional sense of like somebody got transported into this world, but what makes it unique is like he's transported into another person's body. Like he's not himself. He is his brain. He's him, but he's
Mhm.
not him.
Yes.
So
yeah.
he can like speak Chinese. He can read written Chinese from like people who have come before him. So like
Yeah,
from, like,
simplified Chinese, yeah.
a very like basic story structure. It's just an isekai, but then they throw in all these layers that just make it so complex and so different from anything else I've
So, for
watched.
example, when he first meets the investigators that he ends up joining, that moment felt so fever dreamy. It was like,
Yeah.
did they kidnap him? Is he being manipulated or hypnotized? Why is he telling the truth all of a sudden? Right? Like,
Yeah.
and then
Well, then you start
he finds the notebook.
understanding- Yeah, you start understanding the Beyonders' powers a little bit more, and they talk
Hmm.
about how there's like all the different pathways up the branch, and you start at
Yeah.
9, and you're trying to get to 1, which is like divine godhood, but most of the time people go crazy on their way up the tree because it's kind of this cosmic horror. Like they understand some forbidden knowledge that you're not supposed to understand, and then it makes you go insane. It's kind of like this Cthulhu vibe, right?
It's kind of like Bloodborne and
Yeah,
in the
kind of
old
like
blood.
Bloodborne. Like you lose
Yeah,
your
yeah.
sanity.
No, I
I'm
like
just
that.
getting a Bloodborne vibe the whole time I'm watching it, and it's so cool. I love it in the sense like it's doing a lot of cool things. I don't know. I think it might be like I don't think it's like a sleeper hit. I think it will just be an underrated hit.
And
Like it will
Yeah.
just
the
be.
thing that
It's
got
good.
me was the feeling of like the being in John Malkovich. If you guys ever watched that show,
Yeah.
so that was a live action. It's an older one, but it's the same thing where there's a bunch of people that occupy his body, and that's how they have their immortality. They kind of take turns and rotate into it, and like this whole jumping and isekaiing into another world into someone else's body, it like brings up some really interesting questions of like how that person experiences the world
Right.
through the eyes of someone else. Like, I don't know, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so let's score this. If I were to score it on vibes alone, it would be a 10 out of 10. But I gotta knock some points off because it has a
It's got
very
aura.
convoluted. Yeah, it's got a lot of aura. I knock some points off because it's got a very convoluted plot, and you have to be locked in
Yeah.
every episode, or you're like, what is going on? It gets, I think, a little out of its scope a little bit too much, where it starts getting away from itself. But by
Like
the
the
time we
Dream
get to
Realm.
the very end, yeah, like the Dream Realm. But by the
Yeah.
time it gets to the very end, it has kind of like tied things off and kind of brought things back together. Not perfectly, but in a way that's at least satisfying. And you're like, okay, I can see where we're going next. There's still some loose threads that I want to see chased down. There's some characters out there I want to see kind of brought in. But I don't think it quite lives up to the promise of the first episode. But it doesn't, it's not bad by any means. So for me, I think I'll give this one an 8. Like it's just a solid 8.
And so like I think like the intrigue is there for me. Like I like it. Um I like a lot of it, but like I don't know if it deserves an 8 because of how much you have to think while watching. And I know that sounds horrible. I
That's
do
okay.
like thinking, but after work, after a long day, and from a dad perspective,
Yeah.
I cannot put this on all the time. And I literally cannot watch this in front of my kid. It is actually scary it would be actually scary for
The
him.
last 2
Yeah.
episodes, my wife was like, "What are you watching?"
Yeah. And I will have that comment in just a minute too. But I can't give it lesser, like it can't be like a 5 or a 6. And I don't feel like it deserves an 8. I feel like we're at like a 7.5. I can't give it, I really don't want to give it lower than that though, because it doesn't deserve that. But I feel like I need to know where it's coming. But I might want to put some out. Anime is formulaic in manga as well as it is in video. And it's the first 3 episodes are kind of like setup, filler adventure that kind of introduces like character power, things like that. And then usually right around there, you get a hint at who the villain might be for the first arc. It's usually within the first 3 to 5 episodes, you know a lot. And they pack it in those first 5 episodes. Or in those first 5 manga chapters, you get a ton in just those 5. This is not following that flow whatsoever. So this is not formulaic. And if you want something new, this might be the thing for you. So take my 7.5 at a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying. Like it
I
is
think it's
not
fair.
I'm not an expert at this one. This is breaking a mold. That's what it feels
That's
like.
fair.
This is going to be super subjective too, because if somebody gave
Yeah.
it a 5, I wouldn't fault them. I'd be like, okay, like it just wasn't for you. But like,
Are you a
I don't think
purist?
you can't
Like,
go any
that's
lower
my
than
question.
that because just the animation alone and the voice
I agree.
acting and the artistry
It
at
brings it up
least
on
has
it.
it there.
Dude,
it has it.
At
that
least.
Chinese like voice actor who does the
Yeah.
intro. Holy damn. What a
So
beautiful
good.
voice.
Yes. No, I love
Yeah.
it.
Preston, what was
So
your
I'm in the same boat. I think that for me, from a capturing my attention and perspective, and I'm glad that Dallin, I'm glad you shared your perspective of trying and watching it with the English dub instead, because I feel I'm the same way. I don't know what it is. I have a really hard time catching the pacing and like matching, and it's the same amount of reading. It's the same amount of like stuff. There's nothing different about it, but for some reason, my brain fights it. And so for me, it was not only did I have to concentrate hard to watch it, I had to concentrate hard just to read and follow on, like figure out, where are we at in this.
Yeah.
I loved the kind of Sandman vibes, the whole like ethereal, the dreamscapes. That like I love that. That is so beautiful. The architecture, the art. I think for me, I will have to abstain to say like, as an anime, as a dad, if I'm just getting off work and I've been doing and thinking all day long, I'm probably going to give it like a 6.
Yeah.
But it maybe if I watch it again and I watch it with the English dub, I probably would let that go up. But exactly for the same reasons that you're saying, Dallin. For me, it's the artwork is gorgeous. And like every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. And then I start watching it and I get frustrated because I'm like, why does this not work with my brain? Like, why is it hurting
what
me?
is happening?
So, but I'll give it. I think I'll try it again and give it a redo in there. But I think for me, I'm going to probably just give it a 6. But that's just because for me, I didn't get all the way through to the very end. But it was mainly because of that. It was similar to the Sword of the Demon Hunter, right, where it was almost became a chore to go watch it.
Gotcha.
And that for me, that's why.
Yeah.
But artistry standpoint, gorgeous. Love
I
it.
would agree with you. This is maybe one of those ones that you probably should watch by itself. Like, don't try and watch other things with it because it is a lot. There's so much going on, and the pace ebbs and flows. It definitely gets up to like a 10 at times, the pace, but like sometimes it is kind of just slow. And we're
I'm
walking
telling you, that
around
clown fight
investigating
was
and-
gorgeous. It was so well done. The choreography was great. The
Gorgeous.
setup for the ending, and it left you with questions. Fights that leave you with questions are great fights. Like, they are great, like, shonen fights. And I don't necessarily wouldn't categorize this as shonen. It's definitely drama fantasy. And I will point out, people on Crunchyroll who have watched it, 64,000 people rated an average of 4.8.
It's beautiful.
Out of 5. But again,
Out of 5?
Crunchyroll is way kind.
Yeah.
It is super kind.
Well, because if you're not watching it, you're gonna not rate it, and you're gonna stop watching.
But there were been people who were like, "It's a 1," but it was like, it's not a lot of people. Like, it's really
it's
not.
definitely not a 1, and I agree with Dallin. Like, if anyone said it below a 5, I would question that they need their eyes checked, because it is a beautiful, beautiful like artwork.
Just the sequence where he builds the dream sequence where he's building his castle in the dream. I'm like, that's so Sandman-y. Right. Yeah. That's such and then he calls those people in. I was hooked in that moment, just so solidly hooked. I loved it. So
what's the one from Dream? Sandman did something not in the same vein, but it had me throw back to the when him and was it Lucifer or something? They were having like a word battle. And they're like, well, you're darkness, then I am light. And then
it was just like, there's an epic wizard battle.
Yeah. That's what it felt.
It's how I imagine like Gandalf and Saruman fighting each other.
Just with words.
Just with words.
Yep. Everyone else in the room is just watching two old guys stare at each other, but inside they're like,
their brains are exploding on the inside. And
Okay. So the last two, the two that I'm most excited for are Dandadan and Kaiju No. What do you guys want to talk about first? Because I love Dandadan or
Dandadan. We gotta leave Kafka for the end.
Yeah, let's leave Kafka for the end.
I want to give my rating first, but I don't want to give it before I start sharing like what I love about this. Okay.
Yeah,
I was behind. So you guys had already watched Dandadan season 1. I had not. Yeah. So I watched all of season 1 and all of this season. So I am on episode 23 of the season 2. So
nice.
I have one episode left, which is called the Clash of Space
Such
Kaiju.
A good episode.
It's a good one.
I already know what's coming, right? Like the big fat kid who was in Takamura's classroom with the Gundam. I'm like, there's a Gundam coming. It's a Gundam.
Yep.
I know that's coming. I
love when he's always like walking past him. He's like, hello.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is gonna be so cool, right? Like, and I did not like Dandadan at first. I was like, what the hell is this banana shit? What the
banana?
And what are these aliens doing with this ghost? And like, it just is so mind bending. The first episode is mind bending, but it never stops being mind bending.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say how frustrating it had to be to watch Dandadan season 1 and where it left off with her in the hot spring, right? And those guys crawling out of the water, I was like, this is so frustrating. I am so glad I had the next episode because that was hard to watch.
it
Yeah.
doesn't end much better for season 2.
I'm
It ends
aware
in
that
the
it's
joint.
not going to. I know it's not going to.
Seriously.
But God, it made me so nervous for the people who had been watching and had to wait. Because I didn't
Yes.
have to wait. And
It's just so
gosh,
abrupt. It's like they
yeah.
just picked a random spot in the manga and said, that's good. We'll just end right there.
I
'Cause
think they did it
usually
perfectly.
A season ends on some sort of like cliffhanger with
Resolution.
a resolution. Yeah. And this one was just like, hey, right in the middle of the chapter, let's just stop there.
Well, and I think in a good sense, like ending it there is the weirdness of the dandadan, right?
It is.
And
It
then so
is.
then the new intro comes in, and I'm like, okay, this is different. But I love it. I love that song when the intro comes in now. And I used to love the outro more.
So
I actually
good.
love the intro more this time. And I love the weirdness. Evil Eye's animation was great. The freaking the snake.
The vox that they put on Evil Eye too, when he's like, whatever they're doing, the modulation that they do
Yeah.
to his voice, oh, it's just like, it scratches something in my ear. I don't know what it is.
Earrings
I love
so much. I love those earrings on Evil Eye.
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
I watched it subbed because I'm a purist.
I did it both. I went back and forth.
Yeah.
One episode I would do one, another
Is it
episode
dub?
I would do
This
another.
is one of the
The dub
only
is so
anime. Well,
good.
not the only, but this is the anime for me that the dub, because you have what's her face from Power Rangers as Grandma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turbo
Rita
Granny.
Repulsor. Like,
Well,
and
hold
it-
on. No, I
just
do watch
scratches
it.
the
I
innermost
do
part of my
watch it
brains.
dubbed because sometimes I'm folding laundry and Meg wants to watch it too. So I do watch it dubbed. That's not true.
It
I'm not a
runs
purist.
like
Like
the
the
little
as
things,
the dub.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
wild as a dub.
It's
I love when
crazy.
she's looking around. There's the cat, and she's like, "Who's that bitch?" And you're just like, "What?" Like, and to hear
Who's
Rita
Rita
Repulsa say
Repulsa?
that kind of stuff, you're just like, "Oh my gosh!"
No, yeah, because
Power Rangers.
Yeah,
my favorite is like I was upstairs watching it the other day and Meg was there and the Turbo Granny as the cat comes and makes what the fuck is there a cat in this for? Because again, she has not seen a good chunks of this, and I'm like, that's Turbo Granny. She's like, that's Turbo Granny,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, she's
And-
possessing a doll.
and
That's
we're
amazing.
just I'm having a blast watching it, and every time I put it on, I know I'm in for a ride. I'm not, and I'm loving the romance. I'm
I agree.
loving the romance.
It's well written.
Yeah, it's such a good touch to the show. Without it, I think this show is just
I agree.
another shonen
Mhm.
kind of for fun type of show. But that just like really brings it all together.
And
It
if
gives
it
it the
didn't have
heart.
romance, it would feel a little pervy, right? Because you have the weirdness and everything else.
Yeah.
This one goes and says, "Okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to give a wholesome romance, and I'm going to put them together." Like when they're sitting in the car and they're driving and they're about to hold hands. Like for me, it was like a throwback to when you're in junior high or high school, the first time that you go and like try and hold a girl's hand or a significant other's hand, someone who you really had a crush on, or like,
Well, and Meg watched that scene with me too, and she was like, "Hey, why are they so nervous? It's clear that she likes him." And I'm like, babe, it's not about the fact that she likes him. It's about he is internally like so insecure.
because we
Mhm.
are him. He's the insert character, and
Yep.
we all
Yeah.
have autism and can't read signs. That's why. That's
you're
what it's
not wrong.
for.
You're not
But
wrong.
here, but like he can't. He's been picked on. He's been bullied. He hates his life. He wants
Yeah.
aliens to take him away because he doesn't want to be on this planet anymore. And now all of a sudden, someone's paying attention to him.
Yeah, and a girl
Not
to
only
him
that,
might
but
as
a
well be an
beautiful girl.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, not
he
just that, but
can't
like a
communicate
popular
to
girl,
her
yeah.
because he hasn't had a chance to learn how to communicate. And like just watching the last episode where he's in the class and the other kids are standing up to him because they think Momo Ayase is bullying him, and the reality is that he actually wants to hang out with her. He's like, I've never had people stand up for me, and he's just a really sweet guy. So like, I love Takakura. I love Momo
Takakura.
Ayase's like her abilities are so cool. Just her moving her ethereal hands are so cool. And the fact that everyone they run into is possessed is just fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
And so plot is fucking there. It is there's a good plot going here because it's just chaos.
Yeah.
It is feels like we're falling from chaos to chaos, but I know Turbo Granny's doing shit in the background because she's training him to get her powers back. She's not dumb, and you can clearly see with the kaiju fight that her powers are huge. Right? So Turbo
Especially after
Granny
Beethoven.
is doing
Huh.
some. It feels like controlled chaos, like everything's getting kind of like drifted somewhere. Art is beautiful. Like you were talking about it with Gatchiakuta or whatever.
Yeah.
Gatchiakuta.
It's the camera angles are crazy in dandadan. And one of my favorite ones is actually the Nessie fight in season 1.
Yeah.
is just beautiful. But like in season 2, I really, really have to say, like, there's just so many moments where it's like the Evil Eye fight where Takakura comes back and fights Evil Eye for real. When he goes full on out, where he goes into like
Yeah.
Shadow Granny.
When he's actually angry. Like,
Yeah, I love that. That was beautiful. That reminded me of Naruto, when Naruto first went and he like ripped off his skin and fought Orochimaru and went
Yeah.
like what, Six
Like,
Tails?
the Six
Right?
Tails, yeah,
Yeah.
when all the dark mode and
That was like, that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, this is cool. So fights are great. It's got everything you want. And I feel like, and it's got the art to back it up. So I'm going to give this one a 9.5 for me because I love it. I am into it.
All right.
Because I can't
So
see,
glad.
I can't see me not enjoying it. I just can't see me not having fun watching it. It's not a chore. It's really not.
Yeah. When I look back at shows that I really enjoyed that were shonen, but sort of kind of transcended and were just more than just a shonen,
Mm-hmm.
I think back to shows like Mob Psycho. I look at like Jujutsu Kaisen for me, kind of falls into that realm. And I think this one is probably the best of the ones that are not just a shonen. From an artistry standpoint alone, the way that it is all produced is so good. The way that things are drawn, it's weird and goofy thanks to Science Saru. Like, they do such a good job animating it. They do stuff where, like, normally if someone walked down a flight of stairs, it would just be a static camera and you just see them kind of do this down the stairs. But no, it takes the camera and like whips around the stairwells with them to just kind of add, like, the energy is always up. Whether it's the camera, the actors, the screaming, the fighting, whatever, the energy is always at a 10.
That's all you say.
So for me, this one's a 9. This one is a solid 9.
Okay, so I can't believe I rated it higher. By the way, my peak is like for a 10, it's like Bleach, it's Naruto, it's One Piece, it's the big 3. Can it hit those? I don't think this is at that level. I think this is at like a level near that though. I think it's changing. It's like it's just the new face of anime. I feel like is not dandadan,
Yes.
but it's things like dandadan.
It's
Things that
dandadan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man. I think those are kind of the new sort of big
yeah,
three,
and
if
I
you
think
will.
right now I think it deserves a 9.5. I don't know if in 10 years it's going to be a 9.5 for me, but so far it is holding its ground. It's like a Fooly Cooley. It matches Fooly Cooley's energy. I mean, they can't even eat dinner without having it be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They can't-
Yes. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Think without rehashing the things you guys said, because I think you guys said it very well, all of the things that I love about it.
Mhm.
I think I got to give it a solid 9.5 as well. Like, I really love the transformative nature of it. I loved the one that I was questioning was Mr. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna like whatever. I'm like, oh great, this is filler. And then it ended up having a payoff, and I was like, okay, like I'm
What is
good
the
with
You
this.
can
thing
Like,
spoil
that
it.
he
You can spoil
says?
it. Yeah.
He's like, he
Wiener.
says like boobies or something like that, and everyone's like, hey, "Shut up, you perv!" And he's like,
No, yeah,
"You
yeah, yeah.
just said testicles."
yeah, they're all
Yeah.
sitting there and they're trying to talk dirty or whatever
Spicy,
to the girls,
spicy talk.
with the girls, the spicy talk, and he's like, boobies.
And they're like, "Get out of here, you creep."
Yeah, and he's like, "You're weird. What? No, you guys said this." And like again, like like misreading context clues, trying to be like, okay, hey, I really want to be a part of this group of people. I like these people. How do I
Yeah.
fit in?
And then he totally shines in the last episode. He totally shines in that
Somehow.
episode.
Yeah, and I think
Enjoy
that's
it.
what's really cool is that like you have this classical geek, right? And then you have a beauty, right? So you have this beauty and this beast kind of moment.
Beauty
And
and,
then
the geek.
the most traumatic thing happens to the geek is his penis gets ripped off, right? Like in front of her, like he has nothing, right? He can't do anything. He can't be with her, right? Like, yeah, he's a Ken doll. Romance is out of the question. But it's also like, now that that's out off the table, right? Like romance is like actually a thing now. Like she is looking at him as a
Yes.
person. He's looking at her
Yes.
as a person. He needs her help. They're both very vulnerable, but every character is vulnerable. Gigi is vulnerable. He's literally like living the worst possible life. Yeah, he is so happy. He's one of my favorite characters.
He's trying his best to make
He's-
everybody smile, and
Yeah, he's doing such a great job.
including the ghost that's trying to kill him and everyone around him. He's
Yeah,
like,
and then-
I'm gonna still be your buddy.
RSA from season 1, her story is super sad as well. That dancer episode made me cry.
So sad.
Like I can't even, like, I'm sure Turbo Granny's background story is effing awful, right? Like I
We'll
can't.
get it someday.
Yeah, someday. And so I honestly really, the Mozart battle was pointless to me, but whatever.
No,
It
that was
taught him stuff.
awesome. It was so
It was
weird.
crazy. It was crazy.
It was
But
on
I will
mushrooms.
say there is payout for both. It is training for both Takamura and RSA because
Yeah.
when she goes up to fight Kaiju, she's using some of the same moves she used against Mozart.
Yeah.
So Beethoven.
I'm glad
and
that they
stuff.
did that too, because she tries to explain, and it gives a little bit more into the power system, and like
Mhm.
this is why you're off, and yeah,
Mhm.
like trying to explain something that's not explainable. It's like trying to tell someone what salt tastes like.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know, it tastes like salt. Like this is what
Evil
it
Eye
is.
is a great addition because just like the pure like rage and fighting fun, like is like he's like and Takamura, he's thinking more than he looks like he's thinking. And I love that. So I can talk about Dan for hours right now because I love it right now.
I want to fight.
Well, then
Yeah.
let's move on to
I'll
Kaiju number 8. I
Okay,
think that's a
okay.
good one to end
This
on.
one's hard to rank. I have a hard time. It's a really hard one to rank. Preston, you guys start us out. You start us out because you love this one too.
10.
Right off the bat.
So,
10.
Okay, so I'm gonna lay it out. So the reason that I really love this, like there's very few animes that I'm like, I will drop anything if someone's just even hints at the thought of going and watching it, not just once, but multiple times. I like the character designs, the way that it's kind of moving through the world, the way that they're building and they're doing their power system and they're trying to creep things up. But they do it in a way where it's like, you can always tell when there's a MacGuffin or there's something where they're like, all right, this guy's getting built up because he's going to die. He's the guy that they're going to use to show the bad guy's really strong or whatever else. I feel like when they do that kind of stuff, it's not in a cheap way. It's not cheap shots, right? It's not using tropes. I feel like that the world, the way that they're saying, hey, here's this other side of kaijus, and this is an emerging like new thing with what's his face, number
9.
Kaiju 9.
9, Kaiju
Yeah.
number 9. Like, I loved it. And my son actually, when I was cool, because when I was sitting there, I'm watching him, or we're watching the opening sequence, and my son's like, hey, that's number 9's head. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at the shapes and stuff when they're standing on things in the opening sequence and all the other things. And it absolutely is. Like, it's all this, it's very poetic, the way that they kind of do those openers. Aurora, I think, is the artist that they used for the opening song for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one better, but I do really like that song. It keeps having me want more.
Haunting.
Yeah, well, and it asks a question, right? And it's a
Yes.
question that Kafka is asking. I actually think it's very.
Yep, can't run you for yourself.
Yeah,
Are you
like,
human?
Yeah, or are you soul? Like, what are you? Right? Because he's not one thing anymore. He's two things,
Yes.
right? He's Kaiju number 8, but he's also Kafka. So which one is he? And it brings back to the bigger theme of the whole season this time, which is when 9 takes over another Kaiju and creates one out of a person. Is that person still in there?
Are they a person? Yeah.
Are they a person? Or are they a kaiju? So, like, for people who haven't seen it, like, I'm so sorry. There's so many spoilers that are going to happen right now because this gives so much. It
Spoiler
gives
alert.
so
No,
much
this whole
setting.
episode is just a spoiler episode, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
So this gives so much setting, right? So from the beginning of season 2, you are learning about kaiju weapons. What are kaiju weapons? And they are literally just kaijus.
Suits,
And the numbered weapons are big kaiju, like Kaiju 2, Kaiju 1, Kaiju 10, right? This is huge. And I love the separation of was it district, are they district 1 altogether? And now they spread out to like district 3 and all these other districts. I love that separation, and it just makes it even cooler. So he joins the strongest division, and it just keeps getting cooler and cooler. I love this whole arc. It was so good.
I like that the world building when they're like saying, hey, with the districts, here's the districts. And by the way, these are just the strongest people in Japan. There's other people around the world that are doing the same thing, but we don't get to see those. And it like opens that door of possibility, right? And I think that's really cool.
But also it limits it, I think, to volcanic activity. Because the kaiju are depending on the energy from the Earth's core. And they're the organic matter that are around the Earth's like mantle. Right? So like I think it's limiting it because Japan's in a subduction zone. So it makes sense why it's all happening in Japan. Because all the kaiju activities happening in Japan, it's not really happening in other places, but the body parts are being taken and shipped across the world to be studied and used, right? So yeah, this is such crazy crap, dude. One of my favorite episodes though was The Wall. It is when Kaiju number 6's ice powers get to be used.
Yeah.
That was a great episode. It was
unlocked.
wonderful. I love the character building in this one because it's a lot like the Hashira like arc from Demon Slayer, where they're training up all the troops to be awesome, and you're getting all these training sequences. But one of my favorite scenes is Kafka and Snake Eyes dude. What's his name? It's the
Pink-haired
vice
guy?
captain. Yeah.
Hoshino?
And he
Yeah, and then he sees.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. The foreshadowing. Yeah, right.
I don't think so. I think Kaiju number 8 sits in a special place because it's got good comedy, like lightheartedness to it. It's got good shouju fights. I don't know if I'm sorry to say this. I don't know
That's
if
okay.
it deserves. It's not Dan level for me.
That's
so
okay.
I'd give it an 8.5. I think it's good. But it's
I'll
not.
give you this time.
Yeah, I think it's like Naruto level fun. That's what I think it is. It's Naruto level fun, but it's not Naruto. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
So
Get it?
okay.
8. Kaiju number 8.
Yeah.
For me, I like this one better. I like this season better than season 1. I scored season 1 a 7.
Okay.
I think this one dramatically improves on season 1. And I think it's mostly because it cuts out the kind of juvenile, jokey nature of it and focuses more on the human side of it, which is like the Kafka, like, who am I? What, like all the things that you guys kind of mentioned. There's this one episode where he finally gets his phone back and he's like so nervous to message everybody. And he's like, it's been so long. They're not gonna want me. They're
Feel
gonna be
it.
wondering why. And yeah, and I related with that so hard. And then just all the love poured in. And he's like, dude, I was limiting myself. Like, these people, of course, they don't think that about me. I think that about me. And that's my own problem. Like, I relate to that big time. So I was like, wow, that's such a good episode. So, like, this season really resonated with me more than the other season. I think the best episode is Shinomiya's dad, who the blonde dude, when he fights that kaiju, he's the strong stoic guy. He's not supposed to lose. And he does. And it's like, now what? That episode was so strong for me. And I think that maybe is the best one of the season.
And now his body is being used to power up the minds of these other kaijus. Number 9, also his character design, I was a little confused by it at first. He's in a top hat. He's in like a circus ring kind of top hat.
It looks like a mushroom.
Like he's got moxie. Right? It's like a mushroom shaped hat, but right, it's kind of like one of those, like, I don't know what to call them, but they're very boxy, like, but they're round. But it's like one of those hats, and his eyes are on top of the hat instead of down here. But like when he takes over Shinomiya's body, that was so frustrating because you were just like, I don't feel like this is how it should go. And when I was reading Game of Thrones for the first time, and at the end of the first book, you read the part where Ned gets his head cut off. Sorry. I'm not sorry about it. It's don't watch the show. But when you read that part, you're like, someone will save him. Someone's going to save him. Someone needs to save him. And then he does the thing. And you're like, what the hell did I just read? Like, that's how it felt with Shinomiya, right? I was like, don't stop. No, he'll get there in time. I kept thinking he'll get there in time.
Well, and even if he did get there in time, like, Kaiju number 9 is just so much stronger. He would have just kicked his ass anyways. He would have been no help regardless.
But I think Shinomiya would have died as a human, but now he's being used as a weapon.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what Shinomiya wouldn't have wanted.
So when I'm looking at how I scored things, I think Kaiju number 8 to me is better than Gatchiakuta. I don't think it's quite as good as dandadan. So for me, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. I'm going to give it the lowest. Damn. Yeah.
That means I have to readjust my score then for dandadan to be 9.5.
dandadan, I think dandadan is in the A range. It is an A anime. You should watch it. You shouldn't sleep on it. I did not regret it. I have way too much to watch.
Honestly, if I would be A-okay if we had more of that, where you let's take some genres that usually don't mesh in terms of like in a traditional sense and putting them together, like romance, and like let's do like these kaiju fights and other stuff. I'm gonna somehow make these work and make it actually feel wholesome and not feel like a what's the word that's not incel, otaku, like not something that's like, ooh, like that was kind of made me feel dirty watching that romance scene. It's just didn't feel wholesome.
Yeah. So, and I think that's the cool part about Kaiju number 8 and Dandadan. They're both wholesome at moments. They're funny at moments. They're serious at moments. I get really frustrated with Demon Slayer's like constant screaming and crying, right?
Yeah.
And I get frustrated.
Too much
with that.
drama.
Too much drama. But when Shinomiya's dad died, I was like, there needs to be more, but they're not showing you everything that she's feeling. They're only showing you a little bit of what she's feeling because,
well, sometimes it's up to you to like just connect with it and like you fill in the gaps, you know?
Yeah. And I think they're actually filling in the gaps for us through her actions. She put on her mom's suit. Her mom's dead too, right? Like that's a huge ask of her. And and like the best compliment is paid in Cataclysms, the second to last episode, where he's like, well, I thought she was like her mom, but she's not. She's just like Shinomiya. It's like, so like Isayo, like she's just like her dad. And I think that was such a great compliment. Like that got me in my waterworks going. I'm like, oh my God, if she could hear that, like she needs to hear that. So I feel like Kaiju number 8 deserves its 8.5. It is a B. It's like an 8.9, 8.9. I can't get it all the way up there.
How about 8.8?
8.8. It's 8.8.
The thing is, it's so unfair to even have to score these shows, especially like trying to relate them to each other because they're so uniquely their own thing.
In a good way.
You can't compare them to each other.
But for posterity purposes, like if we're going to talk about like what's going to last, Dandadan's sticking around. Kaiju number 8 is sticking around. Gatchiakuta is just in its infancy. We don't really know what it's going to be. I think Lord of Mysteries probably not sticking around, which is probably why I brought it down a lot lower than all the other ones.
Yeah, I think it'll land in like Hellsing Ultimate thing. Like it has its solid kind of it'll have its niche crowd, but it's not gonna be like blowing up season after season after season.
But it might be like a lot of artists cut their teeth on stuff like that. They cut their teeth on really good projects like that, and they go on to make other great projects just like that. And I think that might be what that is. I think that might spawn something really cool.
Overall, I would say summer season, just these 4 shows, it might be the strongest season of anime that I've seen since I started watching anime, which is crazy. Not saying that any one of these individual shows is better than like say like Frieren or even, I don't know, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, whatever you want to throw in there. It's not better than like Cowboy Bebop or anything like that, but like collectively put together in one season, it's like so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But winter season coming up might rival that, and I think we looked at that before.
And what were our choices again?
It was like Frieren Jujutsu Kaisen season 3. I can't remember now, but it was like absolutely stacked to the point where I'm like, that might be the best season ever put to screen.
Yeah. So Anima says Jujutsu Kaisen. Fear in season 2. Is that Hell's Paradise? Am I crazy?
Yeah, Hell's Paradise season 2.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Hell's Paradise season 2. Part 2 for Fire Force for winter.
Yep, that's what it was. Those 4 right there. I'm like, those 2 seasons might be like, they might go down as like 2 of the best seasons of anime, at least in the last 8 years, probably.
But there's like
really solid.
There's like so many on here, like Fate, like and stuff. Like there's a lot of on here that people like to watch. Like, so there's just gonna be a lot there. Yeah, there's a lot coming up for the winter season.
So,
yeah.
Anyways, There you go. There's our thoughts on the summer season. Absolutely stacked. Obviously, you can tell by our scores, we all really enjoyed the shows that we watched. A lot of shonen in there, but for good reason. Like the shonen was really good this season. So,
fall is where the romance is. Fall is where romance and fun is, because you got Spy Family, you've got Ranma coming up, we've got Campfire Cooking in Another World. We've got a weird Disney one. We've got Sanda coming up. Sanda? Yeah, we got Santa. This is going to be great.
Time to take out the naughty list.
It's going to be like One Punch Man season 3 is going to have so much great freaking art. It's going to have some great art.
So lots to look forward to, but overall, like putting a cap on summer season. Super well done.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it immensely. Like, it was one of my favorites. I'll probably be thinking about these shows long from now. They'll be the shows that I'm like, dang, Kaiju number 8 season 2 was really good, or like, dang, dandadan really dialed it up that season. And
I think
Gatchiakuta
these are
came in
pivotal.
swinging so strong.
I think, like, one, like, your first introductory season is pivotal, but I think for dandadan and Kaiju number 8, they're pivotal
Yeah,
seasons.
they really flex their muscles to be like, no, we aren't a fluke. We're here to stay, and we're going to be here for a while. And, like, coming hot off the heels of, like, Solo Leveling, Solo who? I don't even have time to think about that right now. These shows are so awesome.
Well, and again, when Solo Leveling returns, I promise you they will take their crown back. The anime and the manga are really close to each other. They're not too far apart. They're enjoyable to watch together. So I know that Solo Leveling is coming back. There's a huge jump in power scaling coming. So maybe some people might be off put by that. But I really loved this. This was a great season. Hands down.
Yeah.
I was not sad to
Awesome.
watch these.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. Yeah, we're next season's next week. So we've got some shows around the corner. Campfire Cooking in Another World, Sonda, One Punch Man season 3. That's what we'll be watching going into fall. But that's it for this episode. On behalf of myself and the rest of the Dad-ime crew, thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good week and be safe. Peace.